Identify extended surface forced air-cooled evaporators. Service air-cooled evaporators by blower. Hello, my name is Charumadi. I hope you are all excited for today's session. In this module, we are going to learn about extended surface forced air-cooled evaporators and service it. At the end of this exercise, you will be able to identify the types of evaporators, parts of the extended surface forced air-cooled evaporator, how evaporator works, service and fix the unit in position, and to check the cooling effect. Now, let us take a look at the equipment, materials and tools required to do this exercise.
Tools or instruments required. Double-ended spanner 1 number. Screwdriver set 1 number. Cutting plier 6-inch 1 number. Line tester 1 number. Screwdriver, plastic handle 6 mm tip length 100 mm 1 number. Screwdriver plastic handle 10 mm tip length 200 mm 1 number. Pliers long nose length 200 mm 1 number. Chemical spray pump 1 number. Fin comb 1 number. Allen key fit Whitty, handle 1 number. Hand air blower 1 number. Trolley 1 number. Equipment required. Extended surface forced air-cooled evaporator 1 number. 1 ton or 1.5 ton window air conditioner 1 number. Serviceman thermometer 1 number. Air velocity meter 1 number. Materials required. Cleaning cloth 1 number. Spray chemical. Nylon brush 1 number. Clean cotton cloth. Soap solution. Bucket of water with plastic mug. Goggles. Mouth mask. Hand rubber gloves. The function of the evaporator is to extract warmth from the air, which is essential for generating coolness within the refrigeration cycle. Evaporators consist of coils containing refrigerant, constituting the primary component of the evaporator. The function of the evaporator is to absorb the heat from the space or surrounding medium which is to be cooled by means of refrigeration. The process of heat removal from the substance to be cooled or refrigerated is done in the evaporator. The liquid refrigerant is vaporized inside the evaporator, coil or shell in order to remove heat from a fluid such as air, water, etc. Evaporators are manufactured in different shapes, types and designs to suit a diverse nature of cooling requirements. The systems typically fall into 3 main categories: refrigeration systems, air conditioning, and chillers. Residential and commercial refrigeration systems are large-scale appliances designed for cooling purposes. Based on their construction, the evaporators employed in these systems has been classified into bare tube evaporators. Bare tube evaporators are made of either copper tubing or steel pipes. In small evaporators, copper tubing is used with refrigerants other than ammonia, while larger ones that use ammonia-based refrigerants employ steel pipes. These evaporators have multiple tubing rounds, often in flat, zigzag or oval trombone shapes. They are typically used for liquid cooling. During blast cooling and freezing processes, ambient air flows over the bare tube evaporator, and the chilled air is then used for cooling. While bare tube evaporators are used in a limited number of applications, finned evaporators, which are essentially bare tube evaporators with fins, are widely used. Plate surface evaporators. A coil usually made of copper or aluminium is inserted into the plate when constructing plate-type evaporators. While appearing as a single plate externally, internally, plate evaporators consist of multiple turns of metal tubing for refrigerant circulation. Their robustness is enhanced by an exterior plate, ensuring safety and facilitating efficient heat transfer from the metal tube to the chilled substance. Moreover, plate evaporators are easy to clean and cost-effective to manufacture. Plate type heat exchangers are adaptable to various configurations to meet specific application needs. In household refrigeration, plates can be formed into enclosed boxes or welded together for larger evaporators. Plate evaporators find wide application in freezer shelves, dividers, frozen food displays, ice cream cabinets, and soda fountains due to their versatility and advantages. Fin tube evaporators. By simply adding fins to bare tube evaporators, one can transform them into fin evaporators. In bare tube evaporators, the cooling fluid loses much of its chilling effect due to a smaller surface area, as it primarily travels through the tubing's open gaps without contacting the coil's surface directly. This inefficiency makes bare tube evaporators less effective. Fins on these evaporators enhance heat transfer by increasing the contact surface area, making them more efficient than their bare tube counterparts. Fins protrude from the coil's surface, extending into space to extract heat from fluid that doesn't directly contact the coil, aiding in its removal. Effective performance relies on optimal contact between the coil and fins. Fins are either soldered directly onto the coil or slid over it, expanding for a tight thermal connection. However, adding an excessive number of fins beyond a certain point provides no extra benefits, hence, only a specific number of fins should be placed on the tube's exterior surface. Various air conditioning systems, including window units, split systems, packaged units, and central systems, utilize fin evaporators or cooling coils for air conditioning. In wall-mounted split systems, the indoor unit conceals the fin evaporator behind its front grille. Manufacturers enhance heat transmission efficiency from evaporators by incorporating internal fins into the tubing during production. These fins are created by forming various internal cross-sections within the tube. Tube or shell type evaporators. Shell and tube type evaporators are commonly employed in large refrigeration and central air conditioning systems. These evaporators, also known as chillers, feature tube arrangements within drums or shells and are categorized as either dry expansion or flooded. In these chillers, the float valve, which doubles as an expansion valve, maintains a constant refrigerant level. The evaporator operates as follows. When the air conditioning system is activated, warm air from the passenger area flows over the coils and fins of the evaporator. The evaporator receives cold, low-pressure refrigerant from either the thermostatic expansion valve or the orifice tube. As this chilled refrigerant circulates through the evaporator coil, heat transfers from the warm air to the cooler refrigerant. Once the liquid refrigerant absorbs enough heat, it undergoes a phase change, transitioning from a low-pressure liquid to a low-pressure vapor. The thermostatic expansion valve or orifice tube carefully controls the amount of refrigerant entering the system to ensure optimal heat transfer. This regulation guarantees that all liquid refrigerant has vaporized by the time it exits the evaporator. The vaporized refrigerant then proceeds to the compressor's inlet, suction, side for further processing. Now, through the knowledge you have gained so far in this video, your first task is to identify evaporator type and function. Once you identify the evaporator type and its function, record findings in Table 1 on the record sheet. Examine both sides of the direct-cooled evaporator for any manufacturing details or specifications and document them in Table 1 on the record sheet. Refer to Figure 1 for shell-type evaporators. Now, let us learn how to service air-cooled evaporator by blower. Task 1. Strip out the cover and clean the evaporator. Remove the cover and clean the evaporator. Unscrew the sides and top of the evaporator housing, ensuring the electrical junction box is covered with a plastic sheet. Loosen the fan motor base bolts and the locking Allen screw near the blower using a suitable screwdriver. Shake the fan motor to detach it from the blower's shaft and set it aside. Wipe both sides of the evaporator coil fins after brushing with a nylon brush. Comb and straighten the fins, then clean them with a chemical spray. Repeat the process for condenser external cleaning, ensuring the same procedure is followed for evaporator fins. Task 2. Unit servicing and installation. Clean and position the unit. Wash the fins with soap water followed by clean water, then use an air blower to remove excess moisture and debris. Wipe the evaporator coil fins and the unit base dry. Remove the plastic sheet covering the junction box, clean and securely fix the blower fan, and tighten the fan motor base. Ensure smooth rotation. Secure the evaporator with the housing top cover by tightening the screws. Move the unit near the window frame using a trolley. Lift and position the unit with care, ensuring gentle placement. Check the blower and fan for smooth rotation by manually rotating them through the evaporator air discharge plenum. Install a clean filter and reattach the front panel before starting the unit. Task 3. Cooling effect evaluation. Note the current ambient temperature. Measure the room temperature. Check the temperature at the grill. Assess the air velocity at the grill. Record and analyze the improvement in cooling effect post-service in the provided table.
We have come to the end of the exercise. Let us have a recap on what we have learned in this module. We have learned to identify the types of evaporators, parts of the extended surface-forced air-cooled evaporator, how evaporator works, service and fix the unit in position, and to check the cooling effect. Thus, we have learned to identify the parts of the extended surface-forced air-cooled evaporator and service it by blower. Do this exercise with the help of your instructor. Thank you.